The week started with a victory as Anthony Grant's group beat LaSalle 84-70 to start conference play. On New Year's Eve, 5 Flyers who were in double figures in Malachi Smith led the way with 20 points and 6 assists. Freshman Amael Latong recorded 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. UD played their first true road game of the season on Saturday in the nation's capital and fell to George Washington 82-62. Nate Santos had 23 points, but Dayton moves even in the Atlantic 10 at 1-1. It was a big week for women's basketball. We picked up a pair of wins. On Thursday, Ricky Harris and Olivia Leong both had career highs for the Flyers with 17 points as Dayton beat Loyola Chicago 83-45. UD shot 61% from the field and 47% from three. Tamika Williams-Jetter's squad shot an even higher percentage from three on Sunday when the Flyers went on the road and beat VCU 69-49. Dayton was a season-best 13-21 from three for 61%. Between Ivy Wolf and Olivia Leong, the two guards combined to go 12 of 15 from distance. Wolf scored a career-high 33 points versus the Rams on 8 of 9 shooting from three. Olivia Leong grabbed Rookie of the Week honors for the second time this season, and she had another career high against VCU with 21 points. Dayton is 2-1 in the Atlantic 10. Congratulations to both Genny Kenyani and Joseph Meltaquia, who were drafted in the 2025 MLS Super Draft. The Chicago Fire FC selected Kenyani with the 63rd pick in the third round. Toronto FC chose Meltaquia with the 69th pick in the third round. This marks the 5th straight year a Flyer has been taken. We keep the attention on soccer as we go one-on-one with the associate head coach, Alex Ranalli, who looks back on this year's historic season.
You've had an amazing journey as a player into a coach. You win a title at Akron, you go to the Sweet 16, you move on to Ohio State as a player, you win a Big Ten championship, Sweet 16 now, and coaching Dayton at Sweet 16. I know you're probably wanting to break through in that Elite Eight, but from those championship experiences as a player and now as a coach, is there one thing that you can sort of go back and say, like, what separates a team and being able to hoist that trophy?
Yeah, I'm going to sound like a broken record here. It's always the togetherness of the locker room. 3 very different teams that I was fortunate to be a part of that have had this level of success. 3 very different locker room demographics, makeups, whatever you want to say. But the consistent theme has always been the groups were incredibly tight, incredibly close-knit, and Coach Currier talks about it all the time. It's the groups that win the championships that you hear from consistently 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road. And I don't know what the exact reason for that is, other than the togetherness, the shared closeness, and the bonds allow you to find success in the moment, and then obviously keep you closer together as time passes.
We had a really neat moment in getting to know this group. We were able to sit down and talk with Joseph Meltaquia, Yulti Sigurdsson. These guys, when you look at the Dayton roster, so much international experience and the miles. Melto had a story in that you showed up at his door in Liberia, and that was kind of the moment for him of like, okay, like Dayton really cares. My question is what's the passport like? And then number 2, do you go and try to always make that in-person visit?
Yeah, no, passport's seen some stamps and some visas that certainly otherwise would not have. I think the face-to-face connection is so important, especially when you're recruiting in West Africa and some of these locations that culturally are so different from what we're used to. I think one, the trust when you meet somebody and see them face to face, and you're able to sit down over a meal or coffee or whatever. That goes a long way, because this is a big decision. And Melto specifically had some professional opportunities. There were agents and all these other third parties trying to sway him in a specific direction. And, I think when I don't want to put words into anybody's mouth here, but when somebody takes the time to travel halfway across the world to a part of the world that isn't maybe frequently traveled, it does go a long way. And then again the connection that you can build with somebody when you're sitting across from them, and the way that you're able to elaborate on a project or an opportunity in a way that you can't over text or FaceTime or whatever the case may be. It really helps those guys feel comfortable with the decision that they're taking, even though everybody around them might be saying, hey, go pro, do this, chase the fast money. They can kind of, I think, fall back on that connection that they have with you to make what in the moment might be the more difficult choice, but hopefully in the long term becomes the right choice, right? The education, the competing at a high level, hopefully signing a pro contract and following that pro route, just a little bit delayed.
This entire interview will be released Thursday at noon on Spotify, Apple Music, and our YouTube channel at Dayton Flyers. It's a busy Wednesday for Dayton. Men's basketball is on the road at UMass with a 7 o'clock start. During that same time, the women will play at home against UMass. On Saturday, women's basketball welcomes the LaSalle Explorers to UD Arena for a 1 o'clock tip. And this Friday, track and field gets back after it for the indoor season, as throwers will be competing at Bowling Green for the Falcon Early Bird Invitational. And on Saturday, runners will be sprinting in the Wolverine Invitational, hosted by the University of Michigan. For more information on Dayton Flyer athletics, visit DaytonFlyers.com and follow us on social media at Dayton Flyers.